Um, excuse me. I'm just proud of those young men for a lot of reasons. Number one, through 2 weeks of tough losses, they've gotten closer, and they bonded, and that's what has to happen when you're going through adversity. Is you have to look at yourself first, and they all did that, and it was reflected in the way that they came to, I'll call it work, but came to practice and meetings every day, and that the energy that they had and the way they talked to each other is reflected in the way that they met, in their effort and practice. It was reflected every day in their attitude, and their ability to still have fun and yet work hard. And then tonight was, to me, kind of a culmination of that. I mean, that was a tough game. That's a good team. We were playing without, a guard, so we had to move Powasi in at right tackle and move Andre into guard. We were playing most of the game without our 2 starting corners. We lost, one of our best pass receivers, Caleb Wilson, and we were in a bit of a battle there against a really good team. And if our young men didn't have the character that they did, and the trust and the confidence and the belief in each other that they did, it would have been really easy to fold up the tents there and just say, hey, man, it's just not going to be our day or our year, and they didn't do that. And so that, is something that I've felt. I've mentioned that before to all of you, that I've felt that growing. It gets lost when you lose, but we saw it internally, and so tonight was a reflection of that. So I'm very happy for them. I'm very proud of them, and we will build off of this. And it's a nice way to go into the bye.
How much progress do you see on defense, particularly getting the stop you need, holding them to a field goal, and then at the end, obviously, keeping them from the miracle play?
Well, we were good in the red zone and held them to field goals for the most part. Twice the quarterback got the edge on us on what we call 12 personnel, something we'd worked on. And, guys get hungry, and defensive ends collapse because they think it's a run, and you got a good quarterback like that, and he pulls it and he goes. And I'm talking about one of our very best players on defense making a mistake, which he would never make. And, that's just the intensity of the game. And so we have to be able to coach them through that and help them and give them better calls. But I was proud of the way the defense played. They played fast. They tackled better. They had a good energy about them. They hung in there, and even when we gave up some plays, we bowed our neck in the red zone, and that's what you have to be able to do to win. So I was proud of them, Ben.
Seems like there were some stretches there. You guys were able to run the ball pretty well there, especially in the second half. How pleased were you with the progress there?
I was pleased with it in that at the end when we needed to run it, we were able to run it. I would like to see us be able to finish the game with runs, with more productive runs there, and never have to kick a field goal, and never have to kick off, and never have to go back out on defense. I think that our offense, our running game is improving. We've got a lot of room for improvement. I think that Powasi being in there for his first real stretch at tackle, he'll grow from that. We're looking forward to getting Malcolm back after the bye, which ought to help us. So just got to keep improving.
Coach, we saw Soso Jamabo a lot tonight. Rarely saw Bolo. Can you tell me basically what you saw this week, or what encouraged you to give him more touches tonight than in previous weeks?
It's really been the last couple weeks that Soso's played more. He played, he ran for over 100 last week, and he's healthy. His back's better. He's running with confidence. He's got long speed, and we'll continue to use him. We continue to use Bolu. We'll continue to use Jalen, and you even saw Brandon Stevens get in there and get some carries. So, you can't. I don't think you can really just play with one back. It's really hard. So, being able to play with 2 or 3 or sometimes even 4 is a real bonus for us. But Soso's just been playing well.
I know you said you like the spirit of the guys, but how much does it help to get a win just to kind of embolden them further going forward and just kind of have a sigh of relief and return to work with kind of even more confidence?
It's critical, Ben. It really is. I mean, it's important. I mean, but you have to you can take a sigh of relief, but you can't act like it's all fixed. You know what I mean? I mean, there's a lot of work to do. And so while you say, hey, we're excited about the win and we're going to celebrate the win, you have to go back on Sunday and Monday, Sunday as a staff and Monday as players when you're with the staff, and you have to be just as critical of everything that you did as a coach and teaching and the calls that we made and the way that it was played as if we'd just gotten the dog kicked out of us. And that's the only way you make improvement. And our guys understand that, and I love that about them, is there's a thirst to get better.
Mossy Johnson played almost all the snaps in nickel tonight, whereas he wasn't playing quite as much in the first 4 games. What did you see from him in practice this week to bump him up into some more playing time?
It wasn't just practice, Matt. It was some of the things he's been doing on special teams too, and it's his toughness. It's his. I mean, I love that kid. You know, he's tough as heck. He's a Crenshaw kid. He's I mean, he's a leader. He's been voted captain the last 2 weeks. He practices like crazy. He's got the greatest attitude in the world. He's always smiling, and we felt like he'd give us a presence as a tackler back there. So that was basically what it was, and we felt that based off what he'd been doing on special teams. And I don't know how he did, but I'd like to continue to expand his role because I'm a big-time Mossy Johnson fan. I just love the kid to death.
Jim, what did you think of Josh's performance tonight?
I don't know what his numbers were. I think a couple throws got away from him early. I think that he set the bar so incredibly high that we all have to, you know, be a little bit measured in our evaluations of him. I know this, he's the quarterback of this team that just won, and that's a good thing. And just like I've said with all of our players, that Josh will be his own toughest critic. And you'll interview him tonight, and he'll come in here and he'll say, I left a lot on the field. I left a lot on the table. And that's one of the things you love about Josh. You know, I told him at halftime, you know, so there's 20 seconds left in the half. We don't have a timeout, and the ball's on our 30. And, you know, his attitude is, hey, let's try to score, and it just wouldn't have been smart. And I told him I love that about you. He goes, I'm sorry. And I said, you don't have to be sorry. I love that about you. I love that about you, that's your attitude, and it's infectious.
As was the case in previous weeks, obviously penalties were a bit of an issue tonight. What can you do about that? I'm sure you guys have talked to the guys about it. I'm sure the guys don't want to do it.
No, they don't.
Yeah.
It's I lost one. There we go. The targeting penalty on Darnay, I think, was a good call. You know, look, we have to keep player safety at a premium. We have to be careful. We have to, you know, teach him to lower his point of aim and keep his head up. The things that concern me in the penalties are really the defensive holding down the field. Those are the ones that were bothering me more than anything tonight. The other one that bothered me immensely was when we were coming out of a timeout and we ended up with 12 guys on the field. That's my fault. That should never happen. There's no excuse for that. I think that might be the first time in my career that it's ever happened to a team that I've been a coach on. But that's no excuse, and that's not to justify it. So we just continue to work hard on stressing the fundamentals and being good with our eyes and being good with our hands and being good with our feet, so we're in the right position so we don't have to grab.
Talked about defense in the red zone and also third down defense. What went into that, and why was that tighter tonight than in the past?
Just a lot of hard work by coaches and players, a tremendous understanding of what we were trying to get accomplished, and outstanding execution by the young men on the field. It's really kind of simple as that. So, all right, thanks everybody.